Welcome, community, to Mornings with Mistugram. My name is Patricia Freudenberg, also known as Patty. I am founder and CEO of Mistugram, providing products and services to embrace life when you have a loss resulting in well-being. And if you have been here before, welcome back. And if you're viewing for the first time, please share where you're watching from. Please ask any questions, and we're here to create a community to help each other. And today's topic of discussion is going to be on cope. And we do rotate topics of discussion between tribute, cope, and share, which are the pillars that Mr. Graham stands on. And today we will be having a discovery conversation on ways to cope. So I want to disclose I am not a licensed therapist, although some people say I'm I may be in behind a different type of chair, which is a beauty chair, and I do share life experiences with people while they're getting their hair done. And a lot of times when they're going somewhere, it's a place like a funeral or a memorial. Sometimes it's great stuff like weddings and babies being born, birthday celebrations, holidays. But I have that type of experience, and I like to share and create a community so we can all be there for each other to get through adversities, and particularly coping with loss, which is something that we all have to deal with at some point in our life, unfortunately. And, we are here to make that process easier. But I do like to share my personal experiences, and we are here to create a community so we could all share and help one another uh, with like I said, adversities and well-being. So there are a lot of things I like to reflect on, and things that have helped either me or people sharing stories that help them. And everyone is different, and not everything works for everybody, but that's what this platform is about creating a community so we could share all different types of ideas and ways that can promote well-being, especially through loss. There is always a silver lining, and it's about finding that silver lining. And sometimes it's right there in front of us. Sometimes we see it like this light. We see that light. It's there. That light is there. But what we don't see is those little photons that create that light. Those are they pop in and out of the atmosphere, and there are these mysteries of life. We're all made out of photons. If we have to boil down to an element, everything on this planet, whether it's an animal or a boat, it breaks down to elements, and we're all made out of the same elements, and it's the mystery of life. And it's about the elements around you that create the elements outside of you, or vice versa, the elements outside of you, what it can create inside of you. And sometimes through an adversity, you can actually somehow create something so much better inside of you than what is outside of you. And sometimes vice versa. Sometimes you have a very small fire. Just think of like a fire pit. Sometimes I'm sitting at a fire pit, and you feel that warm fire. It feels so good. Sometimes if you get too close, it's hot. It's about being aware. It's about self-awareness. So pay attention to that fire pit in your belly, because it starts with your belly. And coping is a very difficult thing. We should all know at some point that even when you're a little kid and you can't have it your way, you have to cope with that. Or your mom's saying go to bed, or not knowing how to spell your name correctly. It's about coping. Again, here we are coping with loss, and these are novel times, and there has been, I mean, millions of people that have passed away, and those are millions of people coping with it, and then coping with the idea, can this happen to you? Also coping with the idea of losing a job. Losing, people is obviously a lot more traumatic But again, it's about coping, and we are here to help each other. So, with that being said, one of the things you could do, which again, it's really nothing that surprising, but sometimes again, things that are right in front of us, we forget to use, and that is the CDC website. If you live in the United States of America, it's a website that it's for the Center for Disease and Control Center. So they provide so much resources. I printed out just like a few things that they have on there, and again, if you want, it's about. Okay, so let me backtrack because I get excited to be able to help people. If you know me personally, you have to deal with that, but I think that's why they like me and they keep coming back. Anyway, if you're here and I've caught your attention up till now, please stay with me. We got good stuff coming, and today I'm going to get a little sassy. Like I said, it's about dealing with mourning, and it's called mournings because if you're lucky enough to wake up in the morning, and I've said this in my previous shows, it's a good day. And if your belly is telling you otherwise, that's an indication of your burning fire. And what is it doing to you? Is it low? Is it high where you want to like just are so like trying to burn people with you? What is that belly telling you? What is your fire inside telling you? And that's an indicator. And it goes to then your breath. And again, I'm not licensed in this. This is just stuff I read or people share. I know people that are licensed in this. So if you are living in the state of New York and you want to do telehealth, guess what? I have the right person for you who is very well-rounded in helping people overcome adversities. A family therapist that has a gamut of resources and knowledge to help you. Again, we are here to help each other cope. And the CDC, getting back to where I was, the CDC provides great information. You know what? Even reading it is already a way to get better because you're distracting yourself from those horrible feelings. So if you could find the strength, again, if you're a person that is finding it hard, is feeling paralyzed, if you're viewing this just to be curious, well, maybe something I say could help your friend and it's a different perspective on it. Again, we're here to help each other. It's finding the light within. That's why I made this very significant in the butterfly. It's the light within us. Don't let it burn out, because when it burns out, that means you passed on. And hey, listen, it's going to happen to all of us, but we all want to live a long time, hopefully. And again, there are people that don't, so let's be there for them, okay? It's the light within from and without. What does that mean to you? Do you want to answer that? Put in your comment. I'd love to hear your response. Again, I want to learn too. That's why I love creating communities and human interaction and exchanging thoughts. It's the mystery of life. We're not here to be alone. We have enough time to be alone. You go to the bathroom alone, you sleep alone, you are born alone. I always say that. You are born alone unless you're a twin. Well, that's kind of cool. The experience is with somebody else, but again, the struggle is alone. So, how bad do you want to get better? And if you're not ready to get better, shame on you to complain about it. Like, hey, listen, everybody's entitled to a pity party, but limit yourself. Otherwise, you're going to bring everybody else down like a vortex. It's a source of energy, like how bad do you want to feel better? Again, I'm not trying to minimize the pain of loss, but it's inevitable. And let's make the process easier and quicker. Let's like 5G it to I'm not saying forgetting about people, but I'm saying let's keep their legacy alive. Let's, like Alex Trebek, they're showing all his like wonderful moments. That's awesome. Yes, it hurts people's hearts, but again, it also puts a smile on your face when you see cool stuff from cool people. It doesn't matter if they were an uncle that didn't use the internet. It's just the thought of remembering. That's my Uncle Frank, by the way. It's the idea of remembering them in good spirits that warm your heart. You know what feels good. Again, that's a way of coping. There are lots of ways of coping. And again, I'm not going to keep going on because we all have a day ahead of us. And again, I'm here to make a community and share life experience for the better. So, also you want to see if people, you might be okay, but you want to see if your people that are around you are doing okay. And you can't always see the inside of their gut. You can't always see, well, you can't see what their heart says. You can't read their mind. You might have a perception of what they're thinking, but the truth is, you can't read people's mind. You can't feel if they have butterflies or knots in their stomach. You can't feel what their heart says. You can only have an understanding. That's as close as you can get. So why don't you have an understanding and see signs of depression, anxiety, lack of sleep, lack of communication? Reach out to them and ask them, how can I help you? That's a very powerful word. How will make them think. That's what I've learned anyway. When I read these, I believe, I don't want to get my resources wrong. But how is very powerful. I'm just going to say that. Ask them how, and it will get them thinking. And you know what? If they don't respond because they don't know how you can help them, then maybe give them a suggestion. They could at least maybe determine whether they want to entertain your suggestion. And again, it at least starts the momentum of wellness. It's the one step that leads to the next, that leads to the road to recovery. Okay? And it's about getting to that road easier instead of the hard way. Let's make it easier. We could do this, everybody. Okay, settle down. The CDC, writes things on way right here. It's written right here for everybody. Anybody could access this. If there's no excuse, we all have access to internet, pretty much. Again, and if somebody doesn't, go to them and help them with this. Pop out your internet. Okay, acknowledge your losses. And again, acknowledgement, it's easy to bury your head. That's easy. Again, how bad do you want to get better? It's easy to bury your head. We've all been there, I think. I definitely have. And again, if you know me well enough, I am thankful for community support that during the stressful times in my life, especially loss, that having a support system is essential and fundamental to your well-being. So again, we're here for you. Please reach out. You can find us anywhere. Just Google Miss You Graham. We're right there, all over the place. I'm like Kazoo, okay? I'm there to help you. Please reach out. Well, you know what? Again, I'm going to tell you right now. You go to missyougraham.com. You go to the menu page. You're going to see recommendations. And guess what? Again, you still have to move on with life. You don't have to, but you should want to. You only get one shot at this. Like life is so wonderful. And in the big picture, it's not that long. And hopefully we could all live 100+ years. But again, nobody can promise you tomorrow, no matter how healthy you are. So let's embrace life through loss by realizing how precious each moment is. And again, if you're here spending this time with me, it's because you're either coping yourself or you want to help others. And I appreciate all the moral support for making our mission possible. So, again, we offer Celebrant mugs, and here are beautiful memories like my mother-in-law. When you have your coffee, I like to have it dear to your heart. Anyhow, you could also look for inspirational books again on my website. You got great books that I recommend that I've read, or credible people that I, think are great. Like, let's say, I don't know, Oprah Winfrey. Okay, maybe something she would recommend I'd put on there. Or like I said, books that I have read myself and have found to be very successful. We got lifestyle recommendations like products like this, lavender. I got this for a gift actually, my birthday, from my friend Karen, who also you'll find confidential care for those people dealing with hospice. You need private care. You know what? It's not easy taking care of somebody, especially if you know that they will be passing sooner than later. That's very stressful. And family has to cope with not only the loss, but helping them. So, look on my menu page for confidential care, and they provide amazing service, and it is concierge. But also you will find Frank Kelly Jr.'s artwork. You know what? Art is profound. It could really just get your mind off things. Beautiful work. For a limited time, he will be in our menu featured page. He's featured in our menu page. So check out Frank Kelly Jr. Art Gallery. It's fantastic, beautiful stuff. As well as, like I said, my product recommendations. I, have a whole bunch of lists, but like this is lavender. Just smelling. Again, ways to cope. Yes, now I do like to contribute partial proceeds to the efforts of the American Red Cross. So again, on my menu page, you'll also find some of our products like this cozy sweatshirt. I love this. You'll find t-shirts. Again, you are helping us in our mission to expand the development so we could optimize our user experience and be there for each other, but as well as helping the Red Cross. And as a Red Cross, a volunteer, we believe in everyone meaning everyone. So again, we love to contribute. And another thing that could help you cope is, I brought these out because you know what? I didn't want to forget to tell you guys. Music. Tune everybody out. Music. Whether it's a soothing ocean water or a wonderful song. And again, don't go and be a glutton for punishment and pick a song that depresses you. Come on, everybody. How bad do you want to feel better? Otherwise, limit yourself on how much you want to have a pity party, Get it off your chest, and, how bad do you want to get better, okay? Again, I'm in the beauty business, everybody. I am a cosmetologist, beautician, whatever way you want to name it, but love beauty. And again, that helps you cope. I know it's crazy, it's vain, it's superficial. It works, okay? Again, you got the essential oils. Again, beautiful gift. Oh, lavender, totally relaxing. And there you go. That's what we got today. And stay tuned for next week, which we will be sharing some more. And we do intertwine, even though we try to highlight on coping this week, we do intertwine because it's all like together. It all comes to one thing, one world. And what can I tell you? Love you all, and